Good?
Yep. Whenever you're ready.
Oh, people are already calling you.
Yeah.
Anyone calling you?
No.
Me neither. Okay, well, that was another, battle. That's what you expect late in conference, and especially when you've got that ranking, people are playing a little bit with house money, and they played a great game. I mean, Karis was money. I mean, I thought a lot of her shots were contested. I thought a lot of their shots in general were contested. And they made a lot of shots. I mean, 8 for 13 from 3. It's hard to win those games. 8 for 9 from the line. And our guys just continue to find ways to win. 11-0 boards, obviously with a career high. I thought Lexi made a lot of great reads tonight. And 16 rebounds for Alyssa. I mean, it's hard to win, and especially when the momentum's going against you. But these guys just keep finding a way. And that's great. So we'll take number 10 and keep it moving.
Can you talk about the last play that led to the Baker miss? It's like your switching may have thrown that play off. Can you talk about how that played out?
It's great when they need a 3, right? Because you can switch everything. You don't have to worry about any slips to the basket or anything like that. And so we wanted to keep bodies away. We wanted to make sure we contested at the arc, so we switched everything. And if you miss your matchup there, they might slip it or curl it, but that's worth 2. So we didn't really care about that.
And then holding scoreless for the last few minutes.
When these guys clamp down defensively, it's we can be a really good defensive team. I thought in the first half we were a bit kind of on our heels, and we've got to find that fire that we played with in that fourth quarter. And we've done it now 3 games in a row. We've been able to get key stops. But I think we can defend better. Again, they made some contested shots. I don't think we were terrible on the defensive end, but the urgency, I know that with these two sitting right next to me, I know on Sunday there'll be a better start defensively, I think. Yeah.
2:31 left in the fourth quarter. You kind of get a free timeout. What do you say in the huddle going into that final stretch?
I don't remember at that time of the game. It could have been we wanted to get Lexi. It could have been that we wanted to get more movement. It depends on when it was. I don't exactly know.
It was 60-60.
And who made the next shot?
Yes.
Who did? She did?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Or it was the Laney Grant free throw and then the shot. So it was tied before the final 3 calls.
So she made the free throw. Do you remember? I don't remember the time. I don't remember the time of the game at all. Sorry. Do you? You guys are both in. If you give me a little more context, I'll be able to answer. I don't really remember.
Okay, it was after the charge call. And then
Yeah, which was interesting. Yep.
I think y'all huddled up.
Yep.
Not a team timeout, but it was like
Yep.
a huddle.
Oh, okay. So at that point, we needed to stop. You're saying so it's their ball.
Yes.
Yeah, we were going to switch everything at that point. Take them out of their favorite things. Again, when you look at these type of defenders that are of mobility and size of Alyssa, and obviously what these guys can do defensively in India, it's really a matter of me reminding them the things that they can do defensively and urging that however tired you are, you've got to bring that. And so these guys got key stops for the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so they earned the win. I think we can play better, and we will.
Reniya, can you talk about the last few minutes? Obviously, the charging call that
How
you
about the
just
big
mentioned, and then you drew a foul and then had to go to the sideline. Are you okay? What happened there?
So I twisted my ankle. I got a charge. Was it a charge or did I get fouled?
That
Yeah,
was the one
that's when you drew the
got
foul.
fouled.
Yeah. So I just twisted my ankle and I just need to come out for a minute to get myself together.
And what about the fire the last few minutes when it looked like they were gonna?
I mean, I feel like we didn't have any energy the whole game. So I feel like the last few minutes of the game, we just needed it and we had it. So I think that was very important for the last few minutes.
Just a quick note on that. I mean, with the energy, I will say the VT players that came in here said that y'all really did fluster them on the defensive end the beginning of the game. But you said you felt like you didn't have any energy until the end. Was there a moment, something someone said, what sparked that just aggression that we saw?
Good question.
I mean, I think the team did. I think we did. I think we was talking about it the whole entire fourth quarter, and we need to burn the energy at that time because they were coming back. They made a few runs, so I think we needed it then and there, and we did it.
I think Grace was really big too.
Yeah.
At that moment, both offensively and defensively in
Yeah.
the fourth quarter.
And just, if I may follow up on that, you guys were going to her a lot. I mean, she was hitting these really tough lays over much taller competition and also, jumping up for some defensive rebounds on the other end, just doing a little bit of everything. What, I guess, is it about her that makes y'all so willing just to trust her and put the ball in her hands so much in the clutch there?
Yeah, she's really good. She's really experienced, and she just plays with so much joy and energy that it helps all of us around her. She's willing to attack the paint for herself or for others, and she's willing to give it all she has on defense to force steals or to make the ball handler feel flustered, like you had mentioned before. So she just never takes a play off.
So athletic and fast, so she's an advantage downhill, right? And Reniya, I think she played too many minutes again. Yeah, she played 30, almost 34 minutes. And so, she gets to a point where she honestly just needs a rest. And so it's been great that Grace can be aggressive. But yeah, her speed is an advantage, and we have to continue to use it.
What's
Yeah, with the veteran nature of like many of the players, Lexi, Alyssa, how do you like use that in the game when it's tough moments, like down to the last quarter, and really like going into something like strategic?
I feel like I can help them because they tell me they get to have a voice, right? So even, there's many a times in the game where I'm asking Lexi about defensive coverages and anything that she's seeing or anything that we can shift up there. I'm asking 10 in terms of on the offensive end what looks, she feels comfortable with this group. So when you trust them because they've been around a while, it's a conversation. It's not a presentation, right? It's a conversation, and we're going to let Lexi make those decisions late defensively, and we're going to follow her lead, right? Because she's proven it. And we're going to trust Reniya's calls late because she's proven it. But there's a lot of conversations, which I appreciate for an experienced team.
Lexi, with them making 8 3-pointers, how important was it to get the perimeter game back? I mean, the team only had 3 at Clemson. You had 3, I think, in the first half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we need to have a well-balanced offense, and I feel like being able to, or just taking the shots outside opens up lanes for everyone else. So it's something that we need to get people to be able to go off the dribble because they're hugging me and they can attack my gaps. So I feel like it just adds a more well-rounded feel to our offense. Yeah.
And you guys should definitely write about that take. I mean, we set a flare for her, and then they rescreened her, and they just stayed glued to her. And so she caught it, didn't hesitate, got herself right to the layup, and got herself right at the rim. That was a huge play, and it might have been the clincher.
Yeah, to follow up on that, Lexi, how comfortable are you going your left hand like that? Was that anything in your mind? Anything going that correctly?
Yeah, I mean, we've been working on it a lot in practice and in all of my individual workouts. It's been a focus to really put the ball on the floor and get to the rim and finish. So it just came natural because that's what we've been working on for a while.
Coach, going off Reniya's minutes, how did you see others stepping up down the stretch when the score was a little tighter?
Yeah.
To help her out?
I thought we talked about Grace. I mean, she's fun to coach. I can only imagine how fun she is to have as a teammate. She helps you on both sides of the ball. When she and Reniya went to like a 2-man press on their own and forced a turnover, she just gives you something a lot, right? And then Lainey, she's really earned our trust. I mean, she didn't shoot it well tonight, but she made good decisions, right? And she was a better secondary defender than she has been. And so those two have given us a lot. Sierra has had a good couple weeks of practice, and of course she just broke her nose. So, or at least hurt her nose pretty bad in the game. So that was a bummer. And then Blanca, was able to get in and help a key kind of contest. But our bench, they know that they're needed, but they've got to be what these guys can't be in that moment.
Coach, quick turnaround to, NC State on Sunday, ACC play, never rests. What stands out to you about this NC State team, and what are just practices between now and then going to look like for you?
We always assess practices based on their bodies and what the reads are through our sport performance team. So I don't know how much of them I'll have. So it'll either be a mental exercise of understanding how we want to play, or a physical rep exercise. We don't really know until we get the data that we need. NC State, they've got a lot of great guard play. I mean, their guard play brought them all the way to the Final Four last year, right? And so that's a competitive, very experienced group. They've got kind of senior heavy guard play, which is a wonderful thing to have, right? And their bigs have come along. So they're a really formidable team. I mean, I think they're in the top 10. I don't know exactly, but I think they're close or are or whatever. And then, of course, it's a team that we're really familiar with, right? The fan bases are familiar with each other. So, it's next up and a great opportunity to have a great rivalry game at our place. And I know Carmichael is excited to be hosting it, and they'll have fans because they're local. We'll have fans, and that's kind of what it's all about.
I want to ask you about team statistics. You had 11 offensive rebounds. You rebounded about a third of your misses, and 13 second chance points. And then you had 7 players with at least 2 assists. which kind of speaks to the sharing the ball well.
Heck yeah, and a lot of people, thanks so much, a lot of people have scored. Yeah, I said to them after the game, it's a great team to shoot on because these guys are really good on the glass. And so we've got to be able to, I know you don't have a lot of space, but I still want her to shoot more. Reniya is probably tired of me telling her to shoot more too. But, you know, we got a lot of great rebounders. But yeah, look at the scoring and the assisting, and this is a complete basketball team, and they all have to bring their piece, and I thought we were okay in the first half today.
I know you said that you have sort of been working on that sort of drive in practice, but obviously a game is a different thing. Can you take us through what you saw on that one particular play, and what made you decide, all right, this is the time I'm going to go?
Yeah, I mean, I had come off a flare and a pin down, and she was right up on me, and so, I mean, at that point, I didn't have a shot, and I'm like, she's too close. So I was attacking the gap and just seeing what I had. If anyone would have helped, I would have gotten it to our open shooters on the wing, but the lane was there, so I just kept going.
Wouldn't know how quick Lexi is with the ball. She's really fast, and it's going to be helpful when she recognizes how fast she is with the dribble. Hard to catch up with.
So many tight games like this for y'all in the ACC. Want to go back to, and maybe it's a different moment, but it's that FSU game.
Mhm.
What a tough game. But y'all have had this game, the end at Clemson, and really been able to kind of like plan out games like that. What do you think you learned, if anything, from that FSU game? Or again, maybe
And
it
Georgia
was-
Tech,
or Georgia
right?
Tech,
They went
there
on
you
a
go.
momentum, right? They punched us in the face, and we kind of traded baskets, right? We didn't clamp. And then the last 3 games, we've clamped when we're trading baskets, right? And so we've learned a lot about. We learned a lot from those 2 games. Like, there's momentum that the other team has, and you don't get to roll with their momentum. You've got to stop their momentum defensively. So I think we're a better team than we were against those 2 teams at that time, and that's the goal, is to continue to get better.
Any other questions?
Just one more about that play. Coach mentioned it, used the word clincher, and I just wonder, as players, when you make a basket like that in a crucial time, do you ever feel like that might have been the clincher, that might be the dagger?
We're just focused on the next play.
She's all worried about
Like,
defense again.
At that point, it's like, okay, we need to get a stop. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's really just keep going. The game's not over yet.
Right.
Lexi made the right choice to come and be a Tar Heel.
Great, thanks everyone.
How old is Nathan?
It's a Landon.
Landon.
Landon.